Well, we are live and dangerous as we get ready for the Genius Zone here on Edge Radio Australia. You might have noticed a bit of delay there. The screen just jumped out at me and said, Aaron, it had that, remember Lost in Space had, warning,
Oh, okay. 3, 2, 1.
We are showing our
You are
age.
terminated.
Jeez, a bit rough. Okay. I didn't think the intro was that bad, but okay, fine. Hey, the person doing the terminating, of course, that is the lovely Terry Messenger, of course, our local genius for the Genius Zone. How are you going?
I'm pretty good. And on that note, I better just say to you, this is completely unprepared. This is totally let's just jump on air and do this. So let's just preface the termination here that we are going to look at terminating bad habits, bad beliefs, and the saboteur.
This could be 3-4 hours at least, I think. No, only teasing.
Yeah. So get yourself comfy.
Yeah. But bad habits, we do it a lot. And we, as far as, we do it a lot. Self-sabotage, to be more exact.
Yes.
We do it a lot.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
So I think it's a big failing in a lot of us. Am I right to use the word failing, or have I just been a bit naughty there?
No, look, failing forward is always a good thing. I don't like to ever say that anything we say is wrong, because everything that we say is what we were supposed to say.
Right.
However, I would like to talk about what we can say that can turn our life around and how our words are our wand.
Well, words are a wand. I like that. You just went all Harry Potter on me.
Yes.
Look at that. Away we go.
Yes.
Now, the other day we had an amazing workshop here, and I don't want to change the subject too much.
No, that's what we're going to talk about.
Oh, cool. So that's how well prepared we are about these things. Because it was just amazing. We had, apart from the fact that we met some really cool people, and that was a big plus on that one. But I think everybody got something really pivotal from that day. So do you want to walk us through it?
Well, the energy was astronomical, I felt, so a lot of people came in with, I don't know what sort of expectation they had, but the room was literally vibing.
It really was.
It was vibing at 100 decibels, and everyone sort of was brought together almost. And as you know, we brought someone up on the chair.
We did.
And she was amazing. She had not done NLP with me before, so she was completely new. And
to see her losing her virginity there, I'll tell you right now. I tease and I joke about it, but I'll tell you right now, the person you're speaking about was really cool to see them get up and be so raw and so honest. I think if you're going to achieve anything by any NLP or any personal development, if you're not honest and if you hold back, well, guess what? You're just holding yourself back. Okay? You're not giving yourself the right tools to get the job done.
She's so committed. So she really wanted change, and she really wanted to experience it. So, we began by the question that I asked you last week, which is, what do you want? So when you ask yourself, what do you want? Quite often people may stumble. They may have a fear of, why should I want that? Or I don't want to wish that because that's not a very moral thing to wish for. Or, people might say, if they could completely lose all their inhibitions, look, I just want to be freaking rich as anything and just, drive a Maserati to work every day. And I just want to be, the king of the world. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's okay. They probably feel too shy, or they feel too like that's immoral to say that. But maybe some people do wish that deep down inside.
I think there's a lot of people out there who have wishes like that.
And that's okay.
It is.
I'm about to tell you it is okay.
Okay, I got permission? All right.
You have permission. So if the fact is that it's not what you think. So if a person's saying, oh, I want to be, filthy, dirty rich, okay? No, you don't. If I got $1 billion and put it all around you, and you just sat there for the next 10 years, you might feel good for a while, thinking and fantasizing about what you can do with that money. But, it's not the money, it's the feeling.
it's not the money, full stop.
No, it's not the money.
And even people who do
it's never
chase
about
money, it's about, okay, you're trying to find something that you haven't got.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe it was a case that you might be obsessed with money because you didn't have a lot growing up, right? You might have, okay, there's a lot of people who feel that way. It might be they associate money with security.
Yes.
So it's not always like, it's not all, Mr. Burns going, excellent, right? It's not all like, it's not always that terrible, I don't know, the gluttony of things, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's actually comes from somewhere softer and somewhere that they're trying to fulfill that safety margin in themselves.
Well, we've talked about this on the show before, Aaron. Usually people are coming from one of a few things when it comes down to, and it doesn't matter what they say, just say it because, for goodness sakes, the only way we're going to get to the grassroots of it and really lift it up is to say what's on your mind and then unleash it. So if they're saying that they want to be rich, or they might say, I want to have a really good relationship, or I want to have a really great house, or I want to have a family. Okay, so what it comes down to is it's about they want love and connection.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They want certainty and confidence.
Sure.
Or they want a feeling of some kind of significance and importance, and probably all of those three, but there's always going to be one that takes precedence.
It's so true, though. And it's often, as I say, what you haven't had in earlier life or whatever. The old joke about if you've got straight hair, you want curly. If you want curly, you want straight. If you're me, you just want hair. It's simple as that. But it's you're trying to find that balance, and you're trying to feel that thing in your life that you didn't get.
That's exactly right. Wow, you've got it. So, no matter what they say when they're sitting on the chair, I never believe them. That's the rule number one. I know 100% they're not telling a lie, but they're saying what's superficial and what might appear to be on the top layer, but you've just totally hit the nail on the head, and that is that they actually want what they perceive they don't have. Because if they perceive they have it, like, I don't need, I've got a nose, I don't need another one, so you don't wish for something you've already got.
Correct.
So when we uncover it, as you know, when we got that person on the seat, and we're not breaking confidentialities here.
No, not at all.
What happens is the way that we find out what they really want and what the absolute grassroots of it is we keep asking them over and over again, why do you want that? What will that mean for you? And how is that going to change your life? Now, at some level, what always happens, and it always will happen, if you have to sit there till 2 a.m, till the cows come home, you keep going until you get there, but you're going to get. And in this case, this lady did it like it was so, I was like, oh, damn it. I didn't even get 5 levels deep with her. Like on the third why, we cracked the bloomin' jackpot. Because it might be because she's a counsellor and she's quite self-aware and all that kind of jazz. But if you noticed, if you go back on the recording, she said here, this is what I want. And then I asked her why she wanted it. And by the second and third one, she told me what she didn't want.
Didn't want.
Yes.
There you go.
Exactly.
So Terry was like, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Now tell me what you want. We're not Spice Girls.
And then she told me what she didn't want. And that's what you're looking for. So you're looking for, because I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to go through that anymore. I'm sick of this happening, or I don't want to see the world running out of petrol today and prices going up, just saying. But you know what I mean? Like it's you are getting to what it is that's really ticking them off.
Because most of the time it's not what we want, it's it's what we don't want.
Exactly.
And it takes a couple of, I know you kind of chip it a couple of layers before you get there. But in this case, when we as you say, had that session, that it came quickly, which is great.
Yeah. So once we did that, we were then able to track with her. Now, what we've then dealing with is, as you know, is we're dealing with a part of ourselves, and everyone's the same. There's no one immune to this. No. That is fighting against the side that, like, say for example, if you're wanting to lose weight. I should not say that. You want to drop kilos and totally dissolve it.
You're naughty. You use the word lose.
Yes, and you don't see losing. If you lose something, you always set out to find it.
Yeah.
So that's why in hypnosis we never talk about losing weight.
So maybe like find fitness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Being healthy, and then finding your why. So, you know, I know you're working on that with a beautiful coach. So as you can discover that, if you can really discover why you want it, but then, you know, the question is, what is the reason then that people are sabotaging themselves? So they may find the wheels falling off. They're not doing what they know they have to do. And this is the fight between the part of the logical brain that goes, well, you know, I want this. I want that to happen. I want to be healthy. I want to have good relationships.
Jerry, I'm going to ask you
the
question that, like, okay, it's the $64 million question, okay? Why? Why do we self-sabotage?
Because that part of our brain is protecting ourselves.
Okay.
So it perceives that if you actually, for example, turn into this person that is trim, slim, fit, healthy, I'm not saying you're not, but I'm talking they objectively.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a classic example. I had a woman who came in and she was really sitting around 100 kilos, which was way too much for her.
Okay.
And we had to look at how we can shift that and what was happening. But the real reason, and even with money, if it's like I want to earn a lot of money, but I keep flushing it down the toilet, not literally, but, you know, I keep spending it or I keep losing it as fast as it comes in.
Being wasted.
And that's a familiar space for me, I'm telling you. And I reckon, just on that note, that it comes from my poverty background.
Well, look at that.
And so my perception may be, if I'm rich, that could be, my subconscious mind will have a secondary payoff of why that would be so bad.
I have a little saying in life, okay? Money can't buy happiness, but it can rent it for a little while, okay?
I like that.
And it's kind of true, let's face it. And a lot of us think that we can buy things that will make us happy, right? Like whatever the subject matter is, it all comes, whether it's your fitness, whether it's your bank account, whether it's the car you drive, whether it's which is always Porsche is always the answer, but then, you know, whether it's the house you live in, ultimately all these things that you're chasing, right, is really about you from an emotional standpoint. That's really what it comes down to. So you're trying to fill something in you.
But they do also say that what you want wants you as well. So
Right.
at a level, and this is where the subconscious mind, so if I want to be this or that, well, that wants you as well. But, you know, how are you going to get out of the way of yourself?
That's a big question, because we're always doing that. We're always getting in the way.
That's the $64 million
Right.
question.
Because we always end up playing goalie to keep away our own happiness in a silly kind of way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're strange taps.
Yeah. So in this isomorphic loop that I was just doing as I was answering you, this one particular woman, what we discovered is, and it didn't happen just, you know, in the first instance of speaking to her, and this is in clinic many years ago, by the way, disclaimer. So what we discovered was that she was maintaining 100 kilos because her subconscious mind perceived that if she was attractive, she would attract the wrong person.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So what we found out from that is that when she was 8 years old, she was actually being molested by someone.
No, there is no more grotesque thing that can happen to a person. That's the ultimate evil.
It's really common, right? But that's what happened. So she brought this kind of layer to camouflage herself and, you know, think to herself, well, if I'm fat or if I'm unattractive, then they won't want me anymore. Wow. So that's, you know, that's part of it. So there's people, so for example, your family history. Your family history. So you could be rich, you could have a lot of money, and you could have all of these elements, and then you could have a poverty mentality.
Sure.
Because that comes from your grassroots.
Okay.
And what that's about is you have to rid that. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself, because I've seen this happen very close to me,
right,
where someone very close to me is, yeah, they're well-to-do, they're okay, they're not really in any kind of financial problem whatsoever, but they act like they're in a poverty mentality, and they feel, and there's a fear within them. So what's happening is, while they've got some form of abundance, they've got this bad luck kind of thing going.
Really?
Yeah. So they're actually attracting the bad luck. So we understand that this is happening. It's the same with relationships. You might be going, have you ever heard of people who attract the bad relationships?
I think you just said Aaron, but okay, yes.
Okay, so look, we all do it. You're not the only one, right? I know you are original and unique and all that stuff and amazing. But honestly, you may find in a certain context that you may be attracting that kind of a relationship. However, we all do it.
Of course
so it could be in friendship circles.
Yep.
It could be in our career path. And whenever we are in this particular arena, we have this problem that seems to go on and on and on all the time. And what we really need to do is look at what the higher purpose is. What is the teaching?
Yeah.
So what did you learn? You don't have to answer that question.
No, I did. I'll say this, okay? Not directly what you're saying, but work with me here. I found making a conscious decision about the people I surround myself with improved my life.
That helps.
Right? Yeah.
You are some of the 5 people you hang out with?
Yeah. I've got pretty cool people that I hang around with, but in the past, I haven't really, I didn't do it consciously. I kind of had a very open mind to everybody I meet. Oh, I like you. And I was terrible with my boundaries and a terrible gatekeeper, I guess, of my emotions from point of view of I let people in that probably didn't have the best of intentions, right?
Yes.
That's when I made the conscious decision to change that has improved my life tenfold, right? And I think for me, that's worked. Everyone's got a different thing, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
And changing your priorities, like you said about, your reason why. To me, your why is absolutely vital.
So important.
Everything, yeah.
There's no point wanting something and not knowing why you want it.
Yeah.
You've got to know why. Otherwise, you might end up with something you don't want.
That's right. Yeah. All that work.
It's good to be clear.
So true.
It's really good to face up to it. And, I gave an example at the workshop, and this was one isomorphic loop, and people are probably going, what the heck is an isomorphic loop? Well, it's where you kind of talk around and around in different stories, and some of your stories you don't close.
Yep.
But I kind of try to close my stories. But one of the stories I didn't close the other day was the one about where, there's that kind of metaphor of, you've got 2 tracks that you want to go down to and you want to get to this destination, but you take the wrong track. Now you get there, but it takes a long time. And I gave a big story about that and everything else. However, what happens, and this is where that metaphor is really epitomizing that you've got a want in your life. So you want this and you're doing that.
Yeah.
So that's the saboteur. That's the part that you want. But this is the part that if you can really get clear on this, then you're winning. What is it that the part that's sabotaging and the part that you're actually wanting have got in common?
What's the crossover?
So what is the crossover? And the reason for that is so that they can meet in the middle. And, one of the biggest things is to not annihilate or shoot down in flames the negative behavior.
Please explain.
You've got to understand that every negative behavior has a higher purpose.
Gotcha. Okay.
Everybody's always coming from the highest intention.
Now, we used to, again, I'm speaking for myself, but with negative stuff, you can get trapped in that, okay? Whereas if you actually spin it and go, hang on, this is a lesson, you get value out of it. So it actually turns it into a positive.
Yeah. So you know, when you can go, okay, so I've been doing this, I've been angry, or I've been behaving really poorly, or I've been sabotaging myself, or this behavior, I've been doing this for a long time. Okay, so what is the higher purpose of it? What can I learn by it?
Mm-hmm.
And how can that contribute to that? So when you see, we did that, remember the parts integration?
I do. Yeah.
So we had the saboteur, we had actually it's the other way around, the saboteur, and then we had the part that we want, and then we got them to talk to each other, and it's a real deal. It's a negotiation.
I like that.
It's a negotiation, between, it's like Trump, trying to negotiate
the art of the deal.
World war to prevent a World War III going on.
Sure, make sure.
And he's a really good negotiator, so he's probably the right man for the job. And if you are a good negotiator, you can do this with people, because what you're doing is you're not annihilating that bad behavior. You're supporting it and then bringing it together.
Yeah, okay. I'm smiling because, okay, a lot of people would probably go, oh, there's manipulation there. But I don't think there, well, no, where I'm going to go on that is kind of the negotiation point of view means that you're trying for everyone to win, right? Yeah. Everybody needs to get a win out of this. If only one side gets the lollies, if you like, then that's not a negotiation.
But that's not fair.
That's exactly right. That's not fair.
So this is not what it's about.
That's correct.
It's about being able to understand, this is why we want to send cluster bombs all over the place.
Yep.
Okay, so there's a reason, right? And, well, what about, what is it that you truly want? We want to take over the world.
Well, I think somebody wants a lot of oil.
Why do you want to take over the world?
And to push China out of the picture. I think there's a lot to it. But yeah, but that's on an international front. But we're talking about
I'm being
here.
a bit silly and relevant at the same time.
No, I get it. No, but I mean, look, you know what? All of our problems, whether they're on that scale or they're, this kind of scale of everyday life, you need to, you've got to have an open dialogue with yourself about it, and you've got to be honest about it. And you've got to go, okay, what do I gain out of this? What do I lose out of this? Where am I sabotaging myself in this?
The greatest way you can draw a child's character, because I can remember when one of my children was really locked into a really harmful situation, and I had to draw with every cell of my body my faith in them.
Okay.
And so what that meant, coming back to the manipulation or the non-annihilation of negative behaviors, is putting your faith in them and going, well, look, I know you're doing this. You're locked into this behavior at the moment. This is what's going on in your life. But you know what? You're like a cat. You always land on your feet. You'll be right. You know what I mean? And actually really believing in them, but also understanding from this level, because imagine if you could become so aware, not just about yourself, but other people. Someone's just done something to you that's really ticked you off. There's a story about two business partners, and it's a catastrophe. And so they want to break their business up. They want to completely shoot each other down in flames. They hate each other's guts, you name it. It's not a non-win-win for anyone. Nobody's going to win out of this. So imagine being able to look at it going, what was the reason they did that? Where were they coming from? What do they need? So this is where you're not supporting the negative behavior, but you're understanding it.
You're looking for the root cause.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you can understand it, and you can really, because then it comes back to the truisms of, well, I know that, you have Edge Radio going on here, and I know that you've had a busy day today, and there's been quite a few people coming in and out, and I know that we're sitting down doing a live. Isn't it great that you are going to be the biggest rock star on this planet? And you know what? Part of you might go,
I can't even play the recorder. Come on.
So I'm exaggerating there, but I want them to drive home a point. So you've got to hit the facts. You've got to understand the facts. You've got to recognize the facts, and then you've got to kind of go, well, all right, so if you want to go that way and reach that destination, and, you took the wrong turn and it took you 5 hours to get there and you got lost along the way, what if I told you that there's an easier way? What if I told you that you can get there without taking 5 hours to get there? And you can get there in 2 minutes.
Without putting the speed bumps in front of you.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, so hey, that's where you're finding the common denominator.
Okay.
So they're both wanting the same thing. This person's not beating this person up because they failed up. They're actually supporting it and going, okay, let's come together on this.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot to be said for that. I think that something on another note is for someone who has always been very skeptical of this sort of thing. Okay?
Yeah.
The workshop that we did the other day, or that you did, more to the point.
We did it. Couldn't have done it if you weren't there. Gosh.
There we go.
With all the camera and following and moving and me moving my arms and redirecting the camera.
Try and work with this woman. No, awesome. Absolutely. Always fun. Always fun doing something.
It was fun.
But the where I was going to go on this is I've always been against workshops and any of that kind of stuff.
Have you?
Yeah.
And you did a workshop with me and you're against them. Oh, my
I used to be.
You didn't tell me.
No, but I used to be in life. But when I see so much benefit, and like the people that were in the room, right, and there was also people online watching it and being part of it as well.
And there's a lot more that have got it now.
Yeah,
too.
that's right.
They've just received
But just to watch the, I don't know, just watch the happiness and the, I don't know, what's the word I'm searching for? You got into people's psyche and you genuinely helped people. And that made me very, very happy to see. Okay. I watched so many people had so much positivity walking out of that, the other day.
That's great.
And I think it's something that, you only, not only get, but it's certainly a lot easier to perceive when it's live.
Yes.
You're there, it's tangible, people are in front of you.
Yeah. So. I love what you said, and thank you. I feel very honoured to hear that. And we have had really good feedback. And what it really is it's about giving people the ability to understand that there is a supernatural part of themselves that can operate above their logic. And that's got nothing to do with me. I can't take any glory for that, unfortunately. The only thing that I can claim is that I know how to do it.
You're opening the door, okay? Yeah. The contents is there. The person's on the other side.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you've just got the wrong key, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. And if people do want a copy of that, what you'll get is you'll get a full comprehensive workbook to take you through it. So some people use the workbook and they can pretty much help themselves just through that.
Oh, it's great. I did lots of colouring in. It was great. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Crayons.
That's a part of, artistry, therapy and all the rest of it. So there's the workbook and there's the content.
Yeah.
So the content will obviously give them that energetic uplift. It'll take them through a lot of the modalities. It'll help them find their why. It will help them unleash that incongruence, because that's what it's all about, and kind of bring them together on that. And it'll help them to kind of set the future and be aligned with themselves so that they're becoming that person. They're not just going, I want this and that and the other thing, but they're actually embracing and embodying it. And then, as you know, Aaron, there is a drum sounding activation
at the end. Absolutely. Yeah, we all like a little beat in our lives.
Drum healing.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm going to answer a question, because I got this question if I've got enough time to actually knock it out. And I'm so sorry that I haven't answered you directly in the inboxes yet. This lady is from America and she actually purchased a ticket. And as you know, the Americans were asleep when we were doing that, unless they were like you and like people that don't go to sleep at night. So she asked the question. Her husband and her watched it together.
Sure.
And she said her husband wants to know why everybody was going yes. And she noticed the energy in the room. She goes, it looks like to be in that room would have been absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And she picked up that energy though, and she wanted to know about the yes. So I'm going to answer that very briefly. So we are teaching on what we call anchoring, which is harnessing things that we want to feel. So, for example, confidence, peace, joy, certainty. And we set it up And then as we anchor it into the body, that yes is like a resounding yes, opposite to no, of course, which is giving it the vibration of the sensory. So you're anchoring it in. So the yes is the anchor. That's the answer. So I'll send a copy of this live to this beautiful lady, and I'll let you know that if you listen to the end, you'll get the answer to why we use yes.
Very, very cool. I think the energy in the room was amazing. It really genuinely was. And I think that as much as we love to have when we go out across the planet, let's face it, so there were a lot of people who were having to watch it later because they're asleep. Yeah. But, you know, if you watch it and you immerse yourself in it, you can very much feel like you were there.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. That was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah,
end of the day, it was fun.
Yeah. And we're going to have another one on the 28th of March. If you're watching this anytime soon, we will have an event down at the Cannington Festival of Healing. Remember that?
I remember that.
I do need to talk to you about that after. And you can come down and get a taste test, very powerful. It's just an hour. This workshop was obviously 2 hours. And come down and join it, and you'll get lots and lots of other beautiful healings from other coaches and people of the same. 28th of March, my workshop will be at 2 p.m.
Don't miss it. If a cynic like me can be converted, and I mean that, it's quite a task, because I used to be completely against this sort of thing. I used to think, yeah, woohoo, whatever, yada, 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 yada. But I just see so much positivity coming into people's lives. I see people who have taken things that have held them back their entire lives, and including myself, anchors that I've put on myself, not good anchors, ones that have been holding me back. And quite frankly, by embracing this sort of thing, you free yourself.
You do.
Which is a nice thing.
It's awesome.
We're all about freedom here at Edge.
So let us know if you want a copy of the replay, and we'll send that to you. And if you want to join us at the workshop on the 28th of March, come and join us at Cannington Fair.
Sounds good. Thank you for being part of the Genius Zone here on Edge Radio Australia.